What is good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned. Today we are going to be covering the memory quest for the Hidden Inventory Premature Death Part 3 section of the Hidden Inventory campaign. Today we are getting a free-to-play skill page or recollection bit. The name of it is I See Then Die. This is the same style of event as, the first and second part here, where we got this Gojo page and we got this page of them at the beach. But this time around, the page that we're getting is called I See Then Die. I'm about to go over the page. This page is actually pretty good. The memory quests are actually super simple. They're just like any regular old quest. The real reason why I'm doing a video over it is just to see how many cubes we get from this mainly. So guys, I See Then Die, pretty much what this page does is, and I'm just going to read it at max, when you use a command skill or an ultimate skill, so any skill, perfectly fine, increases own taijutsu damage by 45% and jujutsu damage by 45% for one turn. I think that's actually pretty crazy because there is quite a few characters in the game who do build damage based off of both rather than one or the other. But the main character that I think of whenever I see pages like that is Nanami, just because most of the time his skills are literally a 50-50 split, like perfectly split down the middle of taijutsu and jujutsu damage. And this one only has a 6-turn cooldown. For a free-to-play page, I feel like this was actually pretty competent compared to some others. The most comparable page to this is Winter: A New Beginning, which is a page that came out on Red Yuta's banner, and that one only gives you 35% taijutsu and jujutsu, I believe, but it's for 2 turns. But the 2 turns doesn't really matter in my opinion, because obviously yes, you have it for an extra turn, but it's not like you can really stack it or anything. So I'd rather just take more straight up raw damage like from the actual stat rather than the amount of turns it's spread out over, because typically you're saving pages like this for an ultimate or something, and the turn after, it's good to be able to still hit somewhat hard after your ultimate, but really you just want the bulk of the damage to be on the ultimate. So I always take higher damage for the 1 turn. Then if you get it, the Limit Break 1, at the start of each turn, if own cursed energy is 50 or above, increases own damage dealt by 20%. Honestly, this page is pretty good just for like Green Ghetto, I'm pretty sure, or honestly any Ghetto. Most of the time Ghettos have like something where they get extra cursed energy, and they get extra stuff already in their kit from the extra cursed energy that they have, the excess cursed energy that they have. So this page just seems like another thing to kind of add on to that effect. And these are all the stats that are shown at 55, or level 55, but that means the stats are even better at level 80, so beware. But let's get back into the game. You can see here that the page is broken up into shards, or the recollection bit, I'm sorry. The recollection bit is broken up into shards. Basically, if you come to event quest right here, you'll see that there's missions for you to do. There's going to be normal missions, there's going to be hard missions. You can see that this mission right here is actually versus Toji, and there's actually one more mission after, or one more part to this that's coming after this, the Hidden Inventory Premature Death Part 4, which is going to give us the free page of Gojo's Awakening, and more than likely there's going to be another like Toji fight. But every single one of the fights that have like kind of like those shards floating around it, those are going to be the fights that are going to be giving away the pieces of the page. So 1, 2, 3 shards right here, and then you literally on the next page are probably going to have 2 more fights with 2 more shards, or they might just give you dupes of the page so that you can 5-star it with the next one. But there's only 3 shards right here, so we'll just see how it goes. But these missions again do only give 30 cubes if you beat all the missions, and literally all the missions is nobody dies, you complete the quest. Like that's all the missions. But we're just gonna go ahead and jump into these missions. But I will go ahead and say that one of the page fragments, not this one, you see each one of them when you get the page fragments themselves, they give you rewards. But this page fragment specifically actually does give you a dupe of the page, and also it gives you 50 cubes. So that's just something to keep in mind. So we already have 50 cubes in here that we know for certain. And then I think the rest of these are just extra rewards, no cubes. There's nothing that you can bring to boost the drop rate or anything, because like you're just guaranteed to get the pages straight up. But we're gonna go ahead and just go into the missions, and I will see where we're at. Actually, I'll just come back for the Toji boss fight. Alright guys, I actually made it to the Toji fight, and a few things that I noticed here is, one, since it's a boss fight, it doesn't give you any cubes, which usually, since it's a boss fight, you definitely get cubes. But nonetheless, since it's a boss fight, you don't get any cubes. But I did notice that if you look at the shards here, it tells you which missions you need to beat to get to the next page, or it tells you what missions you need to beat to get the full recollection bit complete. And you can see here it says clear event quest, normal quest 12. This right here on the front page is only 6 quests. So obviously there's going to be a second page afterwards, and even to confirm that, if you actually go back through the, these are all of the hidden inventory chapters. This is literally the second half of the normal missions for the hidden inventory chapters, and this is the first half. So I wasn't paying attention before, but literally every single part of the hidden inventory has 2 parts on the normal missions, and then the hard missions even have 2 parts as well. Because that one was just chapter 1. But this is chapter 1, but this is also chapter 1. And then this right here is chapter 2, and this is chapter 2. So it looks like we'll be getting a decent amount of cubes off of this, but both of them have been all based off of 12 quests. So I guess it's safe to say, just based off of these quest missions alone, it looks like you get about 300 cubes from this, because it's usually 12 missions, which will give you 360 cubes, because each mission gives you 30 cubes. But this one right here specifically does not give you 30 cubes. So if the hard mode on the second page also has a Toji fight in there, that's a harder version, then that one's probably not going to give you cubes as well. But so far, it looks like these should give you 300 cubes, and then we'll see how much you get for the actual like second level, because the second level, or the hard level, is the one that gives you all of your duplicates of your page. So let's go ahead and just go in here and beat this. Oh, okay, you can only do this with Gojo anyway, so it's like a special, specific type of battle. And honestly, there's a better page for Gojo than that one, but it is what it is. Alright bro, we're in here, Gojo v Toji, and honestly I left it on auto battle by accident, but realistically this fight's not really that serious, so I am just gonna go ahead and leave it how it is, probably. Unless this man starts spamming his buff tech. Okay, no, I was about to say, if he's gonna keep spamming his buff over and over again, then I will have to take over. But it looks like he's gonna buff every other turn. No? We're just waiting on the ultimate then at this point. But yeah, like, these events aren't hard at all. Again, I'm just more so going through this to see... I'm just doing this to see how many cubes I get, really. Alright, cool. Now Gojo's ready to do blue. Oh, I can't auto anymore. I have to do it. Okay. I'm not allowed to auto or speed this up. Okay. Yeah, I would say the animation on this is crazy. It's literally just from the anime. But it does look incredible nonetheless. And from the anime, but with a bit weirder of shading. But yeah, nah, seeing that animated was always crazy. Like, watching and reading it didn't really hit. But like, seeing Gojo actually destroy everything in an instant was actually crazy. And then Toji just popping out right after anyway was just wild. I mean, anybody who's watched knows that Gojo's not really dead. Come on now, this is in the past. But still, that's crazy. They didn't show any other part where like Gojo actually got bodied up. But I mean, it makes sense though. They probably got some rules they gotta follow, for sure. Alright, we beat the Toji fight. We get another piece of the puzzle. We're gonna move on to the next page, and we're gonna beat all the rest of the normal missions, and then we're gonna see if there's any hard missions that are also not giving us any cubes. But it looks like the rest of these missions are just normal, so the rest of these are gonna be another 6 times 30, another 180 cubes right here. So yes, 300 cubes from this one instead of 360's normal pages. But I will go in here, and then we'll come back after I defeat the entire hard part of the event. Alright guys, so we haven't even made it to the hard mission just yet. I did want to stop here and point out to you that this fragment comes from the mission I'm about to do. It gives me an extra duplicate of the page, and it gives me an extra 50 cubes on top. And this mission already gives me 30 cubes whenever I do it, so that 50 cubes that you get from this make up for the cubes that you're missing out on from the Toji fight. The only thing that sucks about this though is, if you look back at the prior chapters and you try to look at the page like breakdown, you can't really look at this to confirm if they gave you 50 cubes for getting the last piece of the page as well. So that I do not know, and I will have to just pay more attention to that the next time that they do a memory quest. But memory quests are very far and few between. But I'll look at it with the Gojo's Awakening one, because we're definitely gonna have another Toji boss fight in that one. But I will continue this on, and we'll get all the way through to hard, and then we'll add up all the cubes that we got from this. Alright guys, so I'm actually doing the hard missions right now, and I actually noticed that when you're doing the hard missions, you actually get 30 cubes for completing all the missions, but you also get 50 cubes as a first time clear reward. So each one of these missions are actually giving you 80 cubes, and there's 6 of these missions, so that's 480, unless the last one is a boss, again. But still, if the last one's not a boss, then you should still be getting at least 50 cubes off of that one for the first time clear. But it looks like 80 cubes per on this page, so that would make the hard missions 480 cubes by themselves. Yes. 80 times 6? Yes. But let's get through it, and then we'll talk about our total. Alright guys, so we are actually here on the last mission. You can see that the last mission is the only one that has like some form of actual difficulty. And no, well that's 40k, that's 30k. Okay, so yeah, these are a little bit harder than the regular missions, but nonetheless, it still shouldn't be too hard. It's literally just 3 regular rooms with random mobs. It's not like you're fighting Toji or anything. But you can see here for the last mission, we actually get 330 cubes just for this one alone. So I am just gonna go ahead and add up all the cubes as I'm going into this mission, and I'm just gonna give you guys the total like right now. So the math that I have here, guys, The regular missions give you 330 cubes because 11 of the missions are dropping 30 cubes each, and then one of the missions even drops gives you the memory fragment, and that memory fragment gives you 50, so that adds up to 380 altogether. And then with the hard missions on the last page, the first 5 missions give you 80 each, which is going to add up to an extra 400, so then that's 780 cubes, and then you get a last little 330 cubes, so then you get 780 plus 330. And this event altogether is giving you 1,110 cubes, which I'm going to be honest with you, out of stories events, map events, and this event, the memory quest, these events are literally the most basic. These missions are borderline just story mode, but they give you a page for it. But I'd say that this is a major W because this is over 1,000 cubes in comparison, or not comparison, but in combination with the story event that we have out right now. That's literally, you're looking at like 3,600 something cubes. So a free multi, and then you're working on your way to the next one. And not to mention that you literally got a free multi from the Miwa event, and then you're literally getting a free page from this event. So the rewards are actually really good. And the pages are both usable actually for both of the events. I'm just not thinking about that. Both of the pages are actually pretty damn incredible. This page that you're getting from this is actually pretty solid for young Ghetto, or either probably the older Ghetto as well. And then the other page is really good for blue teams in general. But guys, 1,110 cubes is looking like our grand total for the amount of cubes that we get from this event. And again, I know these are very easy events, but somebody asked me on my hour-long video talking about how we're about to be the main timeline, basically. Somebody asked me how many cubes are we getting from all this stuff, so I am trying to make an effort to add up all the cubes and everything. So it looks like the base number for story events is like 2540. The base number for memory events probably is looking like 1,110. So we'll see if that changes or not, because we are going to get the Awakening 4, or the Chapter 4 of the Hidden Inventory arc probably in like 2 weeks, and when we get that, I imagine the amount of cubes you'll get will probably be the same as this one, just because I think the mission setup is going to be the same, because you're definitely going to have to fight Toji again after Gojo's reawakening. So you guys, hopefully you enjoyed. If not, then sucks to be you. But go down below, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let the dead man know what else you want to see. That's going to be it for the Memory Quest full guide. Love you guys. Peace out. Have a good one.